Matt Walsh, Steven Crowder, Charlie Kirk, and all of the other conservative commentators, all the other people on YouTube, on Twitter who have voices, who have common sense, not even if you're just conservative, but if you just have common sense, if you have morals, if you have values, and you actually stand on them, shout out to all of those people who have been saying, let's start boycotting people like Bud Light. Let's start making these companies feel it whenever they do dumb things like putting Dylan Mulvaney on the face of a Bud Light can. Whenever they make Dylan Mulvaney the face of Bud Light and pay him hundreds of thousands of dollars to promote Bud Light, let's make them feel it. Let's make them hurt. Let's hit them where it hurts, in the pocketbooks. And we're actually doing it. We're actually making some big damage. We're actually doing some big damage to Bud Light and to Anheuser-Busch stock. And we'll go into those numbers in 1 second, but it's looking pretty bad for them. I was one of the ones who were skeptical, because I always am, whenever conservatives and people who are on our side try to boycott certain things. It just seems like people don't have the attention span. It seems like people don't have the willpower to boycott these things. It seems like it never works. You know, I used to make videos on pop culture stuff, on Star Wars and Marvel and things like that, until it just got so bad that I couldn't take it anymore. But even back then, when people like Gina Carano got canceled from Star Wars, everybody was like, boycott Star Wars, don't buy Disney Plus, don't go to Disney World, don't buy those products. And nobody can stick to it. Nobody can handle actually boycotting these companies, actually boycotting these products. So I'm always skeptical whenever stuff like this happens. But Bud Light is something that's so easy to boycott. Beer is disgusting, for one. In my personal opinion, I think it's a total waste of calories to even drink alcohol at all. So it's very easy for me to not buy this stuff. But a lot of people out there, I was skeptical. Apparently, it's really easy because Bud Light labeled piss water is not that much different from other labeled piss water. So it's not that hard for people to stop drinking Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch products in general. So it seems like we're actually doing some really good damage to Anheuser-Busch. Let's check out what Matt Walsh had to say on the situation. The financial damage we've done to Anheuser-Busch is a huge victory. We just need to keep it up. Corporations that go woke and betray their own customer base need to feel the pain. They never have in the past. Maybe that's changing. It would be a massive game-changing shift if so. I agree 100% there. I hope the conservatives who are complaining that the Bud Light thing is stupid and we should just ignore Dylan Mulvaney can see that they miscalculated and join the effort here. We're actually making a woke corporation pay a price. If you can't see the value in that, I don't know what to say. And what everybody out there can do to help this cause a whole lot is not just by not buying Bud Light, not buying Anheuser-Busch products. That's the obvious one. You shouldn't be doing that. Like, please stop buying their stuff. But really, what really is going to help the situation is spreading the word on what they're doing. Because I guarantee you, if you go talk to people out there in real life, most of them have no idea what's going on here. Most of them have no idea that Anheuser-Busch stock is down. Most of them have no idea who even Dylan Mulvaney is, or the fact that he was on the face of a Bud Light can. Most people out there in real life don't know this stuff. So the main thing that you can do, that every single person out there can do, is spread the word of people like Matt Walsh, people like Steven Crowder, people like Charlie Kirk, all the other people who are talking about this stuff. Share this video out there. Leave a like on this video, comment on this video to spread it out there. That's what you can do. Like, it's extremely important to keep this conversation going, to not let this Anheuser-Busch, not let this Bud Light, Dylan Mulvaney stuff die out and their stock just go back to normal in a couple of days. We need to make these companies actually hurt. We need to make an example out of Anheuser-Busch, and so far, so good. So far, we have been doing that, but who knows what's going to happen in the next few days. Here's what Marjorie Taylor Greene had to say on the situation. This is the result of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Bud Light chose a segment of the population that already has the same rights as everyone else and decided to join the movement that is grooming and sexualizing children and destroying women's rights. This is a song that everyone is singing. Bud Light should apologize and kick Dylan Mulvaney to the curb. It is kind of like a cancel culture type thing, and it's crazy because this side of the internet, at least myself, I don't want to speak for everybody, but at least myself, I've been very, very anti-cancel culture. I've always thought it was really cringe to cancel people, especially individuals, but companies as well. But at this point, man, it's like what Matt Walsh always says, like, if the other side's going to play dirty, we've been trying for the last few years to be the nice guys, to take the high road and not cancel people, to not boycott stuff, and just kind of beat people with logic and reason. And it's just not working. If the other side is playing dirty, we have to do the same thing that they're doing, or else we're just going to lose. They don't care about having logic. They don't care about actual reasoning. They don't care about morals and values. So if we have morals and values and we refuse to get away from those, we at least have to do something to get even. And I think what we can do is boycott certain companies, vote with our wallet type thing. Yeah, instead of canceling people, individuals, we can boycott certain companies that we don't agree with their ideology. We don't agree with the ideology that they're pushing. I see nothing wrong with it. I think that it's the same thing that the other side is doing. Honestly, I think what the other side is doing is still a lot worse with canceling individuals. Like I mentioned Gina Carano earlier. canceling individuals like Gina Carano for simply having a pretty common sense viewpoint. If you're asking me, there's still people out there who are trying to say that what Gina Carano tweeted was wrong and she shouldn't have tweeted that. Even though they disagree with the cancellation, they think that she shouldn't have tweeted that. And I'm like, it's very common sense what she tweeted. I think it was very common sense. So I think the other side is still very much playing dirty when it comes to that. Steven Crowder had this to say: "Hey, conservatives were winning. Woke virtue signaling companies like Bud Light are losing money by the second thanks to having Dylan Mulvaney as their spokesman. Abercrombie might be next on the list." And he linked his Rumble stream there. If you haven't checked out his Rumble streams, they've been really good recently. You should definitely go check those out. DC Drano posted an update to the Anheuser-Busch stock. Bud Light update: good news. On 3/31, Anheuser-Busch had a $132.38 billion market cap. As of 4/12, it's now $125.73 billion. This means that Bud Light boycott has shaved off $6.65 billion in company value. The bleeding hasn't stopped. On the contrary, it's only getting worse. And you can see the chart there. That's pretty much in a pretty steady decline there. But I think you can find a chart to kind of spin your narrative any which way, but the charts are looking bad for Anheuser-Busch. That one looks really bad because it's just like a straight line down. But if you actually look at, the 5-day chart, it's not that bad, but it's pretty bad, dude. It's pretty bad. I mean, there's no arguing these numbers here. $6.65 billion down in company value. There's no arguing that's bad. That's really bad. And it's because that they had Dylan Mulvaney in their marketing campaign. There's no other reason for it, because right before they had Dylan Mulvaney on there, right before they put Dylan Mulvaney on the Bud Light can and had Dylan Mulvaney post that really, really weird video that to this day, like every time I watch it, it like drains the energy from my body. And a lot of people were agreeing with me. Like there's something weird about that video. Like something is all of Dylan Mulvaney's videos are weird. That one is like demonic. And let me know in the comments if you understand what I'm saying. But that Bud Light video from Dylan Mulvaney is something's weird about it. Like it actually drains the energy from my body. I don't know how to explain it. But anyway, losing $6.65 billion because of you having Dylan Mulvaney in your marketing campaign, it's a huge win for us. There's no way of getting around it. It's a huge L for Dylan Mulvaney and everyone who supports him. And it's a huge win for everybody who is against Dylan Mulvaney and against that weird ass agenda, that weird ass propaganda that they're trying to push. Ollie London tweeted this out in light of the backlash against Bud Light, and after now losing over $6 billion in brand value, Anheuser-Busch, the brand's parent company, is reportedly temporarily halting all marketing efforts to reevaluate the brand's advertising strategies. The brand will also, in the future, evaluate all influencer partnership with a more robust approach while carefully vetting influencers that enter into paid partnerships with the brand. If they come out and say this, if this isn't like sourced by the Daily Wire, if Anheuser-Busch themselves were to come out and say this exactly, I would take that as somewhat of a pseudo apology. I definitely wouldn't let people start buying the stuff again. I definitely wouldn't let this conversation die out and tell people that it's fine to go buy Bud Light again. Definitely no. I think they need an actual apology. I think they need to vow to never do anything like this again, or else we're going to continue to make it hurt. But I would think that if they came out and said this right here, it would be a pseudo apology. I think it would be them acknowledging that they made a big mistake with Dylan Mulvaney going on there. I just don't think it should change anything. If this is true, I don't think it should change anything other than the fact that in everyone's minds, it should make you think we're actually gaining ground here. We're actually making progress. We're actually getting a huge W when it comes to this Anheuser-Busch, this Bud Light stuff. And they're really rethinking the fact that they had Dylan Mulvaney on the can. And I don't think there's any doubt about it. I don't think the Daily Wire would lie about that. I think that they probably have good sources. And I think this is probably true. I mean, the brand would be absolute idiots if Anheuser-Busch didn't rethink their marketing strategies and their advertising strategies. They would be absolute idiots. You have to at this point. You're losing tons of money. You lost $6 billion in company value for simply having a person that you paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to promote your brand. You paid someone hundreds of thousands of dollars to lose $6 billion in company value. Think about that for a second. The person who paid Dylan Mulvaney, the person who came up with the idea, and the person who greenlit it needs to be fired. They're running your company into the ground, and they're going to continue to do that if they keep having people like Dylan Mulvaney as the face of Bud Light. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about the whole situation. What do you think about Anheuser-Busch stock going down that much and them losing $6 billion in company value? Huge W for us. Let me know what you guys think. If you did enjoy the video, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I hope to see you in the next one.